good, everybody? I'm Neal, Newberry, host of Live from the Nickel.
What's good, everybody? It's your guy Neal, host of Live from the Nickel. You know, as we're at, we had our favorite spot, you know, JD's Pub. It's gonna be a great show today. Just chopping up with our guest today, true legendary individual. I'm gonna get into the archives of what he's been doing and retirement stuff. So I just got some real good stuff. You know, I was chopping up with it. It was nice to pick the brain of a true icon, Toledo legend here. We are sponsored by School Matters. Make sure you guys hit me up on Instagram, Facebook. If y'all want the hoodies, we're almost approaching hoodie season, which I cannot wait. You guys see Mr. Brown's not here today because his knee was acting up, so he had to take we gave him a day off. But me and Miss Amanda, we got this, and Nick, we got this. What's up, sis? How you doing?
Good. How are you today?
I woke
Another
up this
week
morning.
closer to football.
College football started this past week.
I'm ready.
High school football.
Yes.
You know, there were some big games. There were some blowouts. Shout out to my cousin Aaron Peacock. You know, Osher had their first game. They lost against Otsego, but he gonna get it right this coming week. So shout out to my cousin, man. You got this, cuz.
My Tigers are killing it.
Tigers look
Swept
good.
the Astros.
Yeah. Okay, so it just amazing. The city was on fire last night. They had the concert downtown.
Oh yeah.
German American Festival.
Yes,
was
German
going on this
American
weekend.
Festival.
So the city, what I can say to the folks that went to that concert last night, I heard nothing but good things.
Yeah.
About there was no fighting. It was just everybody had a great time. That's what it's all about in the city. We need more of that. So shout out to everybody that performed. There were some local artists.
And this coming up week is the Pulse Boxing. This coming up Saturday on the 30th is going to be Pulse Boxing. So
our favorite boxer,
we can watch Albert Bell. It's a really good card with
absolutely Devin Vargas and Tucker, Martin Tucker's fighting. Shout out to all those guys. Hope you guys pull it out. The city's doing great.
Yeah.
I like that we have a lot of activities going on downtown, and I think we need more of that. But yeah, this weekend was past. It was nice, man. I wanted to go down there, but my knee was acting up, so I sat down and relaxed.
It's probably a good idea.
I think it was too. You know, I don't move like I used to move.
You were gonna go down and dance all
No, I wasn't gonna do no dancing. I'll tell you that right now. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna sit and watch people, or stand and watch people, or whatever. But dancing, not gonna happen.
No dancing.
No, it's not. So you guys see the young man next to me. I call him young man because he's young. I don't care. He liked it. I call him young. You know, you feel what's that saying? You feel how older you are, whatever. How they say that?
You're only as old as you feel.
Absolutely.
Some days,
you know what I'm saying?
are better than others.
But this individual is an amazing person. Just getting to talk to him a little bit before we started the show. Just a great guy. I know Mr. Brown would have been here with that, but we got it, bro. So. He's a legendary coach at Owens. Won a championship.
The winningest.
The winningest. Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. The winningest coach ever at Owens. I don't think anybody's gonna ever beat that. And won a championship at Owens. Just a tremendous individual, man. I talked to some people. They spoke nothing but highly about this man. They said he is one of the nicest person ever. Great coach. He is up there with Jim Calhoun and all them Coach K's. I don't care. He is up there. You know what I'm saying? And for him to come and take time to come on the Nickel, I appreciate that. We got the one. We have the greatest coach in Toledo at Owens, the legendary Jim Welling. How you doing, Jim?
Thanks for having me, Neal.
Oh, no, thanks.
I appreciate it.
Oh, man, listen, I was going through a lot of your stuff that you did at Owens. You were there a long time.
20 years, yeah, and 2 years as an assistant back in my early 20s. But yeah, we had a great run, and we had a lot of great individuals that helped, put these kind of things together.
Absolutely.
You really can't do it by yourself. You have to have some people behind you. And I had a president named Dan Brown who was just fabulous. And once we started to establish the program, I mean, he always had your back. It didn't matter. He wanted us to continue to grow the program, and fortunately for us, we did. Yeah.
Well, like I said, last night when I was sitting at home and I was just reading the stuff you have done, the accomplishments, it's just amazing. Like, you had the best winning record there ever of .812. Like, that's crazy. And then just, like I said, I talked to some people that you coached and talked to some people about you, and they said nothing but they praised you, like one of the greatest coaches ever. And that, to me, that's, once again, what we said is about Toledo. Like, we have some real good basketball players, but we have some great coaches too.
Yes, we do.
Seeing these young folks that played basketball in high school, and they work their way up the ladder, like Tiffany Blackman and Sharice Eulis and Nikki McCoy, Taylor Works, all these great young people that are coming up from playing basketball. Now they're coaching. I love to see that. And I feel like it kind of took a little bit out of your page a little bit.
Well, and a lot of those folks that now are into the coaching profession, they had good mentors along the way. So
Yes.
someone had to touch them to be able to go out and do what they do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And coaching's like a bug, it just, once you get it in your system and once you start developing your own kind of philosophy and doing
Yes.
certain things with, with your life, once it gets in there, it's hard to get it back out.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, it's just something that you got to be able to handle the highs and the lows, and
Yes.
in this day and age, the outside influences. You've got, when we were coaching, there was no social media, there was no podcasts. I don't even know what they're called anymore, but Facebook, TikTok.
Yes, all of them.
No, it is.
I don't
All of
know
them.
what they are.
Social media, you can hit on it.
Social media.
All of it.
That covers
Yeah.
all
of it.
all the realm. Everything
So-
you said, it covers all that.
So coaches have they got a lot on their plate, and it's a lot tougher in this day and age than it might have been when I was doing things back in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. So it's kudos to them, because they have to balance a lot.
Hard.
And if you have a family life, that makes it even more difficult. If you got young kids at home, or if you got things going on with your spouse, there's a lot of responsibility there.
Definitely.
So it's a big job.
Oh yes, definitely.
Miss Amanda,
1000%.
my sister, go ahead and start. I didn't mean to take away from you a little bit.
No,
but
you did not at all.
I always want to show my
No,
sister
never.
some love. Well, I'm gonna let you start off, and then I'll jump in after you.
What led you on the path to coaching, to becoming a coach?
Well, as a player, I in my mind, I thought I was really good, and I played at Owens in 1977 for a guy named Dick Honor, and he was a tremendous coach. He was kind of a cut from the old cloth of, you were going to play man-to-man defense, and you were going to learn motion offense, and played 2 years for him, and then I went over to the University of Toledo. And back in those days, when Bob Nichols was there, I was fortunate enough to go to a tryout and catch his eye.
Oh, okay.
Now, that was the good news. The bad news is I wasn't good enough to play for the University of Toledo, but Coach Nichols and I became, I don't want to say close, but he showed me a lot. He invited me to come to practices whenever I wanted to, kind of evaluate stuff, and I wasn't sure if I was going to start into coaching, but I knew what he was doing and what Coach Honor was giving me was kind of one and the same. So my first job actually was coaching 7th and 8th grade at Eastwood High School. That's where I went.
Yeah.
And then from there, I got an opportunity to coach at Northwood High School with Dave Boyce. Dave Boyce and I coached together at Northwood in the 80s, early 80s. So after 2 years there, and I got a call from Owens. They had a situation with their head coach that they had to get rid of him, and so they asked me to come in to be the assistant coach. And then from there, it really kind of took off. I learned how to recruit and do certain things at the college level that I knew nothing about.
Absolutely, because it's so different when you get up there.
From there, it just kind of, 1 year at a time, kind of figure out what went right, what didn't go right, and then hired good people. I think that's really a big key to anyone's successes, is making sure that you hire good people.
Absolutely, surround yourself.
Yeah,
with.
you've got to have loyalty from your assistants and the staff around you.
Absolutely.
And I was fortunate. I had some really good assistant coaches at Owens when I was there, and one in particular was Leroy King, who still lives here in Toledo, and he was fabulous. And there may not be anybody better in the coaching ranks than what Leroy was. And then when I went to Central back in 2008, I had some folks that were very talented as well. And Pete Lakovic was a former player. And, I had Don Christie, who was A-plus assistant coach, and just had really good people that I was surrounded with. And the accolades that the head coach gets are great. Absolutely. But you can't get them without the people that are with you, and I was very blessed.
It's a team,
yes.
just like the team that you're coaching.
Yeah, just like the kids.
Was it easier for you to go from Owens to Central as far as your coaching style or what you wanted to do, or did you kind of the same?
Yeah, I think it was. There was a lot of similarities. I think that the rosters were. At Owens, I'm not gonna lie. I really had great talent.
Oh yeah.
I was fortunate enough to get kids and families to believe in what we were trying to do, and by getting them to four-year schools, getting them their degrees, yes. Giving them opportunities for real life experiences that are going to come at them down the road. That transitioned into Central, I think, pretty easily.
Yeah.
Now the difference was I was used to half of my rosters playing above the rim, and then I get to the high school level and my 95% of my roster was playing below the rim.
Yeah, so, a little different.
Yeah, and you've got to be able to get what you get. With the public and parochial systems, you're not always going to get the best talent in Toledo, or have those kids wanting to come your direction. So being able to adjust to the talent that you have was kind of a hard transition in the beginning, but I think once we figured things out, we were pretty fortunate to have some success at Central.
Yeah, that's great. I guess we kind of touched on it a little bit with the last question, but was there someone in your life who kind of inspired you when you were coaching, or did you kind of just...
Well, it probably even goes back a little further. I had two great mentors, Terry Nye, who was my basketball coach at Eastwood, and another guy named Mike Gardner. And I just loved what they did for not only for their programs, but for kids, and especially in my case.
The players.
They kind of took me under their wing a little bit through the high school days. And, as a kid, you always kind of think, man, I'd like to be like my coach, and that's a great tribute to him.
Absolutely.
When you influence people that way, sometimes coaches just don't get enough thank yous or calls from their former players or what have you, but he was the biggest influence, I think, initially, and then of course Coach Honor and Coach Nichols both, I think, kind of elevated things as I was growing through the coaching ranks. I was only 23 years old when I was an assistant at Owens in
Yeah,
college.
I saw some of some of
really
his
young.
throwback pics, and I was like, oh wow, he's
Yeah,
Yes.
and I was
Yes.
young, and I was, you know, I probably looked decently athletic back then, but I was young. My first year at Owens, I was blessed to have some good local kids.
Oh yeah.
Rich Leonard was on that team, Joe Smith, Brian Williams. Brian Williams is a phenomenal story. I mean, he went to Macomber and never played high school basketball, and I saw him down at City Park.
Really?
The Fonz had
Really?
Fonz had his weekend City Park
Okay.
tournaments, and I happened to see him play, and I thought, wow, I don't know who this guy is, but I gotta have him.
He never played high school.
Never played high school basketball at Macomber.
That's amazing.
And 6'5", long, athletic, and Brian turned out to be a phenomenal kid for us. And he ended up leaving us and went to Shawnee State, played for a good friend of mine, Jimmy Armson. And there's a lot of local kids that played for us during those days. And why it's just, it gives you goosebumps to see what they're doing in this day and age.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
cool.
You know, they're good employees,
Seen
they're
them
good
come full
fathers.
circle.
Yes,
Yeah.
it just makes
Some are coaching.
summer coaching. Yeah, I try to talk them out of it all the time, but they never listen. Yeah.
For real?
You're the reason they wanted to do it, though.
Well,
You know, you're one of
yeah.
those people that they had in their life that had inspired them to do that. So that's
Well.
great. You had a large percentage and number of kids graduate, get their education. Was it difficult to keep athletes not only focused on the game, but on their education and keeping their grades up and moving forward?
Back in about the late 80s, you know, we were concerned about our kids because there was no dormitories. Kids that came from out of the area would have to get apartments and, you know, balance a checkbook, you
Exactly.
know, for example, or paying their bills for rent and utilities and what have you. But more so is that there was a disconnect from here I'm going to school every day, now I'm going to practice, but now I'm going into my own life.
Right.
And so I told President Brown when he was there, I said, we really need to address some of these issues because I think some of my kids, when they get to their apartment, they want to chill. They want to hang out. They got their own crib now.
It's like living an adult life.
Yeah,
and-
they're chasing girls, you know, doing all that kind
Right.
of thing. It's kind of like we need to kind of get a handle on things. So we started a program for what we call like progress reports to all their instructors on a weekly basis, more so for attendance and, you know, if there's any attitude problems or
Right.
any grade problems, we could put out fires before they got started.
Right.
And then we also established study tables so that 2 hours a day, kids would go to the library and they would sit down and, you know, they had to check in, they had to check out. And Paul Savatic, one of my assistants, was instrumental in helping kids if they needed help
Right.
in any subject matter. And if Paul couldn't help, we would find somebody that could. So establishing those academic boundaries really were important, and I think everybody in this day and age collegiately does those kind
Oh
of
yeah.
things.
Oh yeah.
Student athletes at the college level, you're an investment to the school.
Absolutely.
So spending the resources to get them help academically is something that's not only going to benefit the kid, but it's going to benefit the look of the school and preferably the graduation rates.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, that's great. Oh,
You
favorite
good.
basketball player of all time? That's my last
Favorite
question.
basketball
Yes.
player
I love
of all
asking that
time?
Or who would you want to play one-on-one basketball with? Either or.
Now
Yes.
somebody that played for me or somebody in general?
It can be anybody.
Anybody?
Yeah, it can be anybody. It can be
boy.
anybody.
Yeah, you should have told me that in advance.
It could be anybody. Famous, not famous.
Wow.
Wow.
I like that, Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda, that's
It's hard.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
You know, looking back over the years, I mean, and I don't want to sound critical about the game, but you know, there was old school basketball, which was very physical and very,
Yes.
but we were taught that the game had to go from one side of the floor to the other side of the floor, and very, very little ball screening ever. And if you look at the game today, 80% of it is ball screen
It's
stuff.
a lot different.
And if you watch it at the NBA level, the college level, and even now trickling into the high school level, the games all look the same.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
there's a lot less, touching of the ball with five guys, and that kind of irritates me a little bit. But
I agree.
not to avoid your question, but if I had a choice to play somebody one-on-one back when I was decent, it would probably be somebody like Michael Jordan. Now I'm gonna get it. It's gonna be, if we're playing to 10, it's gonna be 10-0.
Absolutely, yeah, of
I'm
course.
gonna lose.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But just
this is
having
all a
the
fantasy,
honor
but it would
of
be really
having,
cool.
said, hey, I
Yes.
played against Michael Jordan.
I played against Michael
But,
Jordan.
But locally, I mean, there were so many good players that that I felt like, I would like to play that person one-on-one, and being only 5'9", there's a chance that I'm going to lose because they'd post me up. But all of our players that I coached back in the 80s and 90s, I was still good enough to get out there and compete a little bit with them, and they didn't have the three-pointer back then too. So when you were making shots from 20 feet, now all of a sudden they're going to try to crowd you and get up on you, and then I was quick enough to get by just about anybody. So anyway,
He was fast.
yeah. Well, yeah.
That was me. I was short, but I was quick.
I hope Massey's listening to this, because he probably couldn't guard me on his best day.
Oh, yes.
As
We'll make
good
it happen.
as good an offensive player he was mediocre or below on defense. I mean, he'd always say, "Yeah, well, Coach, I lead the country in block shots." I said, "Yeah, you do. It's because you're always blocking people from behind because they're going by you, and you were athletic enough to block shots from behind." Who does that? Nobody blocks shots from behind. Do we know anybody that blocks shots?
I did it a couple times.
Well, I know. You get beat on the dribble, but not
cheating.
Yeah.
I did it a lot when I was younger.
No, and Jeff and I kid about that
I
all
love
the time.
it.
But
Good old Jeff Massey.
I love
yeah,
him.
I tell you what, I coached a lot of kids, probably well over 500 in my career, and I've never seen the God-given ability that Jeff had as an individual. I literally, he could probably jump over these tables. Yeah. He had a dunk called the Feel Good.
That's what he called it?
The dunk is called the Feel Good.
We're going to ask him about that when I see him.
Yes.
The Feel Good. Yeah. He'd take off from the foul line, put his hand behind his head, and then, oh yeah.
Feel Good. The dunk called the Feel Good.
Now, they didn't measure vertical leap back then like they do in this day and age, but guaranteed 40 plus vertical.
Wow.
6'1", 165.
I can see it. He's a tall man.
Oh, and he was like, it was like watching a guy on a pogo stick. I mean, it was so
amazing?
fast off the ground that it's kind of like, man, am I glad you're playing for me.
It's like he's got built-in springs in his feet.
it was unbelievable. One of the greatest plays that he ever had in 2 years. And I remember he scored 1,894 points in 2 seasons. We were 72-3 in that time frame, 2 national championships. We're playing in the national championship tournament. It's getting white knuckle in the second half. And he looks over at me and he goes like this. He's pulling on his jersey like, "Take me out, I need a break." I said, "All right." So I look down at the bench and I'm thinking, well, who am I going to put in? And they're cutting into the lead, they're full court pressing. And one of his teammates, they score, take the ball out of bounds, and the kid throws it all the way across half court, and Jeff happens to be standing right in front of the bench. And literally, and I'm standing right there, the ball's going to go 4 or 5 rows into the bleachers. And literally, his feet are in line with my eyes. Goes up,
Wow.
catches the ball, comes down and calls timeout. So they all come over to the huddle, and I looked at Jeff and I said, Jeff, I thought you were tired.
You went too
And
far.
nobody
still jump 10
jumps
feet in the air.
this high. I mean,
Wow.
I'm 5'9", and his feet are in line with my vision. It's like, dude, you're not tired. I'm not getting you a sub. You're good.
There's no way.
It's a good thing you called timeout because now you got your break, but you're staying
now
in.
you're going back.
Right.
We're trying to close the deal here.
Yes,
So,
right.
anyway,
Oh, that's a great
It's
story.
a
I love
phenomenal play that most people, in the game, you talk about the high flying dunk or the phenomenal 3-point shooting, play or this, that, or the other. His greatest play was that play because that could have been a
Amazing.
turning point in the national championship.
Absolutely, and that big of a game.
Yeah, and
Kept his cool.
he made the play when he was, he found something in himself when he was that tired.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't come out of the game because he needs a water.
Just wanted to,
yeah. He's spent.
Yeah.
But he found a little extra and went up and got it, called timeout, and we kept the ball and we won the game. So anyway.
That's the kind of guy he is. That's
Yeah, and you know what? And not just Jeff. I had a lot of guys that would do that. They would give a little extra because they knew what they were representing. And then that was a really good feeling.
I like Jeff. That's how we got.
Great.
We got.
Yeah, that's how you.
He's a cool guy.
What I can say is being at this bar. I love this bar. It's my home, and a lot of things have started here. The idea of the podcast, and it led me to Amanda and Steph, the bartender, and a lot of good people here. But that's how I, got you. Was sitting there talking to Jeff comes over, and we chopping it up and watching our relationship grew and how we got where we at now, which is great. He's such a nice guy, such a great coach too. But just sitting talking to him, kind of like talking to you. He's just got a great head on his shoulders, and he cares about what he does, and he's just a phenomenal individual, man. And
Well, he had, and Jeff has had a lot of great mentors along the way, as we talked about that earlier. He had, in my opinion, one of the finest high school basketball coaches that I ever witnessed.
okay,
Jimmy Hahn was a phenomenal high school basketball coach. When Jeff came to Owens, he had given me kind of like their little playbook thing that Jimmy had put together, and watching him coach at Concord and do the things that he was doing with kids, it was like, wow, this guy's really good. The team was disciplined, they were unselfish, they played great defense. I mean, Jimmy Hahn was a good one. And then Jeff had the luxury of having two other great coaches in Pete Gillen at Xavier, and then Skip Prosser, who was at Xavier after Pete left. So, I mean, and Jeff's been very blessed with having some good folks around him. And there's a lot more other folks too, but yeah, he has some great mentors along the way.
absolutely. That's the stuff. So, before we started the show, you said that you were a Chiefs fan, which is
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be. I'm real interested in football season.
Yeah, me too.
So we're gonna throw some questions out there, little preseason
Yeah.
today or yesterday. I'm sorry. So we got some. Now they got to cut the roster down. Of course, Tampa Bay. I'm a Buccaneers fan. They got rid of Shiloh.
But yeah, they
waived
already
Shiloh.
made their first cut.
Well, yeah. Well, he got in a fight yesterday in the game, man. I don't know what he was thinking, man. Like, I know
He
your dad's
wasn't.
Deion Sanders. You got to create your own path for yourself. But his brother, Shador, had a rough day. He got sacked 5 times. Both brothers had not a great day. The last day of preseason. But
Sanders boys are not doing good in the
not doing good at all.
NFL.
There were some injuries in places all over the NFL. What I can say about Patrick Mahomes, when he played against the Bears, he looked on point. Like, he looked like he was so focused. And this is preseason. He was taking it serious. So, I can see you guys going to make some noise this year. You guys could win it.
Well, I got to believe that in the offseason that the Chiefs probably took a look at that Super Bowl game and said to themselves, you know what, we're going to have to get better, and we're going to have to get better in some certain areas.
Absolutely.
One is probably the offensive line. One is the defensive line. And, you've got to be able to solidify your running game, too. And I think they've done that in the offseason. Now, time will tell, but, Mahomes isn't used to being embarrassed. And last year's Super Bowl,
Embarrassing.
and not only him, but Kelsey and the rest of the gang, that was an embarrassing situation for them. And so I think they're probably going to take this season as a wake-up call that says, you know what, we're going to have to work doubly as hard now if we want to get back to the pinnacle. And it's kind of exciting to see. Mahomes has hardly ever been injured, and if he stays healthy and the rest of the team stays healthy, I like our chances.
Okay. So, Mr. Man, I'm gonna start with you, and I'm gonna work all the way back this way.
All right.
So, who wins the rookie quarterback this season? Who wins the rookie?
The rookie quarterback? You know what's so crazy? And I was thinking about this question earlier because I felt like last year, the rookie of the year as far as quarterback was so hyped because we had so much to choose from. We had so many more guys.
Yeah.
I feel like this draft was a little weak quarterback-wise. We
really
didn't get a lot.
It really was.
I feel like the safest answer would be Cam Ward because he's got the starting job. Jackson Dart, I feel like he offers more on the developmental and the athletic side, but will he get to start behind those veterans? I don't know. So I guess it's really a toss-up, but right now I think that it would be safe to say that Cam Ward because he's starting.
Jim, what do you think?
Not to say that Dart might not get a shot, but he's got a lot of guys in front of him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really I would say probably Ward as well, but it's really too early to tell because some of these guys that are now rookies that aren't getting the nod to start, you may see in Game 4 or Game 5 and then run the table the rest of the year.
True.
So,
Very true.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see if there's a sleeper. There's got to be somebody out there that Tom Brady didn't show up and be the star right away, and so in my opinion, I think there's going to be a sleeper, but I just can't tell you who it's going to be.
Right.
That's what I think too. Somebody's going to show up like
Hey,
a few games in and.
Hey. Well, I wrote two names down: Cam Ward and Dart, Jackson Dart.
That would be who I would choose between, but
yeah. Honestly, Jackson Dart, he's got a lot of quarterbacks that Russell's gonna be the number one guy. I feel like Jackson Dart could actually be the number 2 guy. And the reason why I say that is because I believe. I watched him play in the preseason. He looked good. He's got to learn how to slide.
Yeah.
Because he got the wind knocked out of him. But you got to learn how to slide. And his mom, when they interviewed his mom, she said that too. And hoping that coach can get him to slide, because quarterbacks got to understand that. I know you want to. This ain't college. You got to get down, man. You got to survive, man. Because those linebackers and safeties and even linemen, they're fast. Yeah. And they'll hit you. So, but if I'm gonna say, I like what you said, Jim, with a sleeper. You can throw Sugar in there, but he's gonna play behind. He's on that depth chart, and then Dylan Gabriel, and it's kind of a weak draft class this year. So I'm gonna stick with Jackson Dart. He looked good, and I feel like if Russell doesn't do anything,
which could be very true. We could definitely see that with Russell.
Man, I watched him play, and he just looked good. He looked good throwing the ball. He looked like he belonged as a starter. And they were saying, like, he looked good. But Cam, I see a little bit of Cam. Cam can be impressive. He got some weapons there. We'll see. But I'm going to take Jackson Dart.
Time will tell.
Like Jim said, time will tell. It's kind of early. So, man, listen, man. The Cowboys.
No, they're a mess.
So, Adam Schefter reported that he believes. Now, I've been watching football for a long time, and Adam Schefter said he believes he said first that he don't think Michael Parsons is going to sign. Jerry Jones, they're not even coming close at all, even to work something out. What do you think?
Oh, jeez,
It's a mess.
and it's been a mess for a while. So,
Regular season starting pretty soon.
and being a basketball guy, and you hear football stuff and see what is happening on the field and off the field.
Right.
You know, it's difficult to evaluate because you and I and everybody around, we don't really know what's going on behind closed doors.
Very true. Very true.
And don't ever underestimate the Cowboys because they may be able to pull something out and get it all together. But you know, locker room and team chemistry and things that are necessary. Right now on the surface, it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. But who's to say that it won't get turned around? I mean, I think that's a testament of a true coach. Is if he can bring these guys together and unify them. You know, maybe they'll shock the world. I don't see it.
I don't either.
But nobody else does right now either.
Man. Sis, what you think?
I mean, I think that it is a mess in Dallas, and it's all Jerry Jones' fault.
Absolutely. 100%.
He really went out and said nobody has ever offered him more money than I have to play football. Now, that is ridiculous because no one else has had a chance to offer him anything because he's never been a free agent.
Right. This is last year's contract.
If I were Micah, I would want nothing more than to get that HECK out of Dallas.
Love his
Because I feel like Jerry now at this point is so angry at the situation and offended by it that he wants to sabotage them. He'll franchise tag him. He won't pay him. He'll pull those games with him. So I feel for him. I also don't think he was sleeping on the table the other day. I think it was like a 2-minute rest, and everybody's saying, "Oh, he's sleeping on the therapy table or whatever."
I don't understand.
Leave him alone.
On the job.
Yeah, leave him alone.
Yeah.
What would you do in that situation? I'm not going to look happy to be there. I'm not happy to be there. You know?
I sat down.
Most people can't fall asleep that easily anyway.
I mean, come on. It's
Yeah,
a loud
Unless you
stadium.
work 16 hours.
Yeah.
What is he supposed to be doing cartwheels and he's thrilled to be there and he's got
Jumping
confetti
jacks.
and balloons?
Right.
And, yeah.
You know, I watched that interview with Jerry Jones and Stephen A.
Oh
Smith.
my.
And Jerry Jones is such a bully. He's
He
just
really
the way he was talking about Michael Parsons, like saying about the kids, like, you know, the father and the sons types, and the mother and daughter the dad said no, the mom. I said, dude, what are you doing? Like, he's such a bully, and I feel like he did it to Michael Irvin, he did it to Emmitt Smith, but now with Michael, he's just making it real bad.
He doesn't realize in this day and age, that's not how contracts are done.
Nah,
That's not how things are negotiated, and it's not going to work.
Michael, go ahead and come to Tampa, man. But if he does put the franchise tag, that's just gonna be real bad.
It's unfair to him. And why would you want someone on your team that doesn't want to be there? And if you do that to him, you know.
Well, the Chiefs will take him.
I'll take him. We'll take him at the Bengals. We'll take anything.
Listen, he was. They were.
Well, I should say defensively.
They were showing a list of teams that would love to get him. Of course, we were in that. Tampa was in there.
Yeah.
If he went to the Chiefs or went to the Bengals, anything's 10 times better than Dallas right now.
If I were him, I would want nothing more than to just get out of there.
Absolutely. So the Colts they picked their starting quarterback, Daniel Jones, over Anthony Richardson Sr. You know, honestly, Daniel Jones is much better than, you know, Anthony Richardson. I kind of feel like Anthony Richardson is probably going to be out of the Colts. You know, he can't stay healthy. And it goes back to what he did a couple years ago. He checked himself out of the game.
Yeah.
He tapped himself on the helmet and said, "Hey, come on out." And they never seen that ever.
Yeah.
So I think he needs a fresh start. What do you think, man?
I mean, Jones is the veteran quarterback. I think that Richardson, he just simply hasn't shown in his first 2 years that he can blossom into the franchise quarterback that the Colts want.
Right.
And I think at this point, they don't want to sacrifice their present on a Richardson future, and I almost feel like they're just okay. We're gonna. That's not who we thought he was gonna be as our franchise quarterback. It's been 2 years. We're moving forward from it, and that's the situation I think that the Colts are in.
What do you think, Jim?
Same. Yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah,
If it's not working.
there's just a lot of unknown right now, and I think that's what makes the NFL exciting because any day, it doesn't matter who you're playing. It can all the pieces can come together, and I don't know. It's going to be exciting. It wouldn't surprise me if a 500 team, got into the playoffs. That's how competitive the NFL is going to be this year. So it'll be interesting to see how the Colts fare.
Well, the Colts, since Andrew Luck in 2019, they've had 13 different quarterbacks. Daniel Jones,
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
In 5 years, 6 years.
Ryan Order, Nick Foles, Sam, I can't think of his name. Joe Flacco, Matt Ryan, Gardner Minshew, Anthony Richardson, Jacoby Brissett, Phil Rivers, Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
Since 2019, they've had all 13.
Are they trying to tie the Browns or?
They're on their way. Mr. Brown was here. He was saying that they are on their way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, here's my thing about like this is, Anthony Richardson, he played not a lot of games in college, okay? So I feel like he should have stayed in college before he left. But you're getting NIL money, so I would have stayed.
Yeah.
But ever since he's been with the Colts, he's been hurt every year. And then you're checking stuff out of the game. That didn't make it look good either on you. You're bringing Daniel Jones so they can compete. He gets hurt in one preseason game. He doesn't look like he's in top ship shape. But when he interviews, when they give him questions, he's on point with it. But I mean, I think he needs a fresh start. And I think the Colts need a fresh start. They need to figure out what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
They're catching the Browns with quarterbacks. You got 13 right now. They got a long way, but the Browns have like 40-something different quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? And they got 5 on their roster right now. Or 6 on their roster.
Somebody's getting cut.
Yeah. They got two. J.J. McCarthy this year. Do you see the Vikings winning that division, Amanda?
I don't think so. I don't think I see the Vikings winning. Basically, I think this is basically JJ's rookie season because he was hurt all last year.
Absolutely.
We don't know yet how good he will be because we haven't really seen him. But I, in my heart, I do believe that it's going to be Detroit or Green Bay that's going to take the NFC North. I don't see it being the Vikings.
What do you think, Jim?
He's a winner.
He's a good way to say it. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, Jim.
And
Right about that.
He knows how to win, and injury is one thing, but now if he can stay healthy, it'll be interesting if he can prove that he can do it at this level.
Yes.
Right.
The Lions are going to be really strong. They're disciplined. Their defense will hit you. I mean, that's going to be a tough matchup because the Lions are good and the Packers are going to be good too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the NFC.
But we can all agree we're not worried about
No.
Man, I agree with you on that one.
The Raiders need to start over.
We're not worried about them.
Pete Carroll's got about 80 years old, ain't he?
Yeah.
Man, and then they got,
Start over.
Geno Smith at quarterback, and they got them running back out of Boise State, but that's about it, man. I feel bad for the Raiders.
That would be good for them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. J.J. McCarthy, man. J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. Like I said, he's great,
Yeah.
but we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Right.
We'll have to wait and see what happens.
I would say J.J. McCarthy, I agree with you guys both said. It's his rookie season. He is a winner. You're right, Jim.
Yes.
He's a winner. He did great at Michigan, won the chip. He's got Justin Jefferson on the other end, which is great. It looks like they are trying to reach out and get Adam Thielen, which would be great to help him out because that rookie quarterback is going to need all the help he can get.
Yeah.
Winning that division, you're right. The Lions are still rocking that division.
Yeah.
Green Bay's coming up. We're not even worried about the Raiders, whatever. But, you know, but definitely, I think he's gonna have some moments. This is rookie season. He's gonna have some moments. He's got a good coach. Don't try to force him to throw the ball as much. I don't know the running back situation, but I say they'll be 500 this year. But winning that division, not with the Lions. Unless the Lions dramatically have mad injuries again and Jared Goff gets hurt, that's the only way that I would see that maybe the Vikings could slide in there and win it. So, KC, will they win their division this year, Amanda?
Come on, Amanda. You're sitting right next to each
So look, I am a Bengals fan. So I have this automatic, like, low-key jealousy of the Chiefs. I won't call it a hatred because I really don't hate the Chiefs. I like Patrick Mahomes. I like Travis Kelce. I like all those guys.
Okay.
But I wonder how long the Chiefs' kingdom can stay the kingdom. You can't win forever. You can't be on top forever. Last season, they did not look very good. I'm concerned about Mr. Rice because at some point he's going to get a little suspension because of that off-season crap that he did. The division is tough. The Broncos look really good. They have an exceptional defense. Bo Nix is only going to get better.
Yes.
If the Chiefs fall, I could see it being the Broncos, but you also can't forget about the Chargers. The Chargers always sit in the back of my mind. They got Harbaugh. I mean, they just always. This is going to be a fun division to watch this season, I think, for sure. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. I feel like every year I'm like, no, the Chiefs aren't going to go to the Super Bowl, and they always do. So they find ways to win games that might look not winnable. So I'm curious to see how everybody in that division really is going to do this season. It's going to be a good one.
Jim, this is your team. I'm sure you're going to say yes.
Well, Kansas City won a lot of games ugly last year.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
There was nothing really smooth about 4 quarters with the Chiefs, even in the regular season. They didn't play like what we were used to maybe a year or two prior to that. So I think if they've got things ironed out and if they've got stability in the running game and also on the defensive side of the ball, which has been, the defense carried them all the way to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Now it has to be a balance between your offense has to be as good as your defense. And if it isn't, then I don't look for the Chiefs to win the division. But based on a little bit of the preseason hype and some acquisitions, I think the Chiefs got a chance to do it again. You never, everybody.
never count them out.
You cannot count out.
I
Mahomes.
never count the Chiefs out. I never do.
As long as he stays healthy, they got a chance to be in every game.
Absolutely.
He can be on the field. They're going to get problems.
And I'll tell you what, he's like one of the only quarterbacks I will say that about because you just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know with Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's going to go down in the books as a legend.
I like it.
KC's a tough team.
He is. He really is.
I saw the preseason game against the Bears. He was on.
Yeah.
He was on another level. And I could tell that, number one, he got his hair cut, which is great.
He had another baby.
He had another baby.
He's got a
locked
family.
In.
Yeah,
he's locked in right now. And like you said, you know how much longer Andy Reid? Andy Reid is the mastermind.
Oh, he's
And
amazing. He's
so
amazing.
You got to go as far as Andy Reid goes. So you know how much he got left in the tank in coaching. Such a great coach. So in that division, anything can happen. If he plays like he's playing and it looks like Kelce's locked in, so everybody's locked in. Kareem Hunt, they got the receiver back. I hate to play against them, man, because they're going to give you some problems.
Oh, yeah.
But if he's locked in and everybody else is locked in, they can win it.
Absolutely.
They can win it. They can definitely win it.
Have you seen Mahomes when he was on quarterbacks, like his workout?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His workout routine and his training and the different
Serious.
things that he's doing I don't see anybody else doing that. It's
A
incredible.
lot of those guys ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And Kelsey too.
Oh, yeah.
I think Kelsey's body changed over the last
definitely.
6 months or so.
Definitely.
Somebody got to him and said, "Hey, we got to get you back in."
Yep.
100%.
You need to go down as a legend.
There's new boo. All right, so before we get out of here, we got a question. We have a segment called the Nickel Moment.
Oh,
So what the Nickel Moment is, what was a changing point in your life? From going to assistant coaching to regular coaching, retirement now? I mean, what was the changing point in your life?
Oh gosh. I would probably say there's several, and to narrow one down might be difficult. But when my granddaughter was born 6 years ago, that was a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
That was a game changer. She's 6 now.
Okay.
And my grandson's 2.5. Everybody I ever talked to used to say, "Oh, grandparenting is great," and it is what everybody said it is, and then some. When you get to spend quality time, watching cartoons with your grandkids, and it brings you back to your days when you got to watch cartoons.
Right. You get to do all the fun stuff with them.
Fun stuff. Yeah, going to parks and going to zoos and going to certain places with them, and winning national championships and winning games and watching kids graduate and do all those things is great, but watching your son have 2 children, and my daughter also will have children down the road, it's special, and I think that's probably what I could say today is a big turning point.
Grandparents
I
are
love
the
that.
best.
Yes.
I love
Grandparents,
that.
my mom's parents, when I was coming up, I learned how to wash the car.
Well, there's an
Everything.
extent to grandparents being the best,
Yeah.
because they also think it comes with spoiling the grandkids, which means
Yeah.
spend more money on stuff they
Yeah.
really don't need.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Grandma and Grandpa will get it.
Yeah.
They'll get it for us.
A John Deere tractor with a wagon in the back. It's battery operated.
But they're so
Who
cool.
needs that?
They're so cool though.
They use it once,
They're so cute.
and then they
That's it.
think, all right, let's go do something else. I mean,
Yep.
every
That's
toy
it.
is like brand new because
That's
it's
it.
used one time and then it's over.
Yep.
Yeah. Where's my
Yep.
next new toy? Yeah. Anyway.
That's
But no,
1,000% correct.
All kidding aside, grandparenting is so much fun, and when my wife and I both retired, you just get goosebumps when it's time to go see him and be with
Oh,
him.
yeah.
It's a time that you just can't even imagine. So anyway, that would be my.
That's the
I like
important
that.
stuff.
I love that. I love that. Well, Jim, it was nice having you on, man. Enjoy your retirement.
Thank you.
Tremendous. You guys got to watch this episode. Such a great episode. Jim is a great guy, funny guy. Jeff Massey, I hope you're watching this. I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, this one's for you, Jeff.
But we'll be at Toledo Spirits next week, man. We're going to be on the outside part of it. It's a beautiful park. You guys have a safe day. Live right, do right. You guys will be all right. See you later. That's you to take a picture with me. That's it.
Okay.